let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. With new headman Jim Harbaugh at the helm, this team is in for a rude awakening as far as he is whipping them into shape and he's going to get things turned around. I think with the help of new GM Joe Ortiz, they've already started getting things in the right direction in the terms of the salary cap by making some very savvy financial decisions. Let's get into the article and then we can talk about it on the other side. From Field Yates over on X, Chargers center Corey Linsley agreed to a restructured contract that lowers his base salary from 11.5 million to the minimum for 2024 season. This creates 10.29 million in cap space for now, and if Linsley retires after June 1st, the team can spread the dead cap hit out over 2 years. Linsley told reporters after the season it was 99% likely that he will retire this offseason. Nick, I think that's a very good move because obviously you don't want a $10 million plus cap hit on the books for a guy that's not on your team. That is not something that smart teams do. I'm curious though what your thoughts are on all of this and what it means for the Chargers. But Chargers fans, in the comment section below, I think this is a great move as far as getting the salary cap in line and getting things moved in the right direction. What are some other moves salary cap wise you would like to see the Chargers make this offseason? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest move by the Chargers?
Well, it's necessary, right? And excuse me, Charger fans, my voice is a little hoarse, so I'm going to try my best to power through this. But obviously, the Chargers salary cap situation is not good. They're actually last in the NFL in 2024 as we get ready for the offseason in available cap space and dead cap hit. That is not going to get it done. That is obviously not going to really hurt and restrict the Chargers' ability to improve the roster. I think this move is a big move. I think it's a great sales job by Harbaugh and Ortiz getting Linsley to agree to this kind of deal, this kind of situation. Because obviously, I think the plan is for him to retire after June 1st, and then that allows him to spread the dead cap it over the next few seasons, open up some dollars in the short term. And if you look how Harbaugh normally structures his teams, he's normally not big on having big dollar skill players, right? If you look at his teams with the 49ers, heck, even at the Michigan Wolverines, they were much more focused on in the trenches. Now, what that means, I think this is a predicate move to them getting rid of Mike Williams and potentially even Keenan Allen as well. Moving off of Mike Williams would free up 20 million bucks. Moving off Keenan Allen would free up 23 million bucks. So that's obviously just those two moves alone would get them in the right side of the cap hit. Right now, they're 35 million bucks over, according to overthecap.com. And then it comes down to a Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa decision. I think one of them you have to move off of as well. So we're going to see a lot of turnover for the Chargers going forward. Like you said, Jim Harbaugh is really going in there with a lot of mentality of trying to right this ship. I think there's going to be a lot more heads to roll, so to speak, as the Chargers revitalize their organization. Because look, if you look at the Chargers just on high level perspective, they've got now good GM Ortiz from the Ravens. You expect him to do good. You've got the right head coach, and you've got a franchise quarterback who has proven himself to be physically and mentally capable to handle a football team at the highest level, which you obviously need in your franchise quarterback. So where it really matters, they're outstanding. The only issue for them is kind of cleaning up the roster and getting it headed in the right direction. I think we're headed for sort of a kitchen sink quarter effect here with the Chargers. For those of you who aren't familiar with finance and stock markets and things like that, a kitchen sink quarter is when a big company says, all right, this quarter is going to be rough. We just know it is. So we're going to just pull all the other future problems and we're just going to kind of bring it all to today and release it all into the public. Tell everybody, hey, this quarter is going to be rough, and just kind of get it all out in the open and all out in the system right now. Gets it all out of the way, and then we'll look towards the future. I think that's what the Chargers are preparing to do over the next 30, 60 days or so with a lot of these moves. They're sitting there saying, hey, listen, we're going to restructure Lindsey's deal. Great move, but we're going to trade or cut Mike Williams. We're going to trade or cut Bosa. We're going to trade or cut Mac. Heck, they may even trade or cut Keenan Allen. It's going to be a little bit of a bloodbath over the next month or two, but I think it's the right moves to make. Because again, where it matters, Chargers fans, you're outstanding. You just need to clean up the salary cap disaster. And look, if it means you have a lot of dead cap hit on the books over these next couple of years, you take it, right? Because at this point, you're going to be better in 2024. I think we all know that. But you're building for 2025, 2026, and beyond. That's how Harbaugh thinks. That's what he did at Michigan. So I think this is the first of many massive moves that Los Angeles is going to be making.
Yeah, Nick. And if you're a Chargers fan, You don't want Jim Harbaugh to come in and, just be passive, just come in,
Yeah.
go with the flow and say, let's try to make it work. Oh, these are hometown guys. Let's try to get these guys back. You want a guy to come in and say, hey, look, the past, 10 years or so, things haven't been the way that we want them to. So let's not do anything like that. Let's come in here. Let's absolutely pick apart everything and just, it's going to be absolutely brutal for this first season. You're going to make cuts. You're going to evaluate people, no name, just by stats, just by, production the last few years. There's not going to be the Joey Bosa's. There's not going to be Khalil Mack's. There's not going to be Keenan Allen's. It's going to be a faceless guy say, hey, look, statistically, this ain't working out for us. The dollars don't make sense, so you got to go. There's going to be a lot of tough moves like that. You're going to see a lot of things happen, but there's also a lot of bright spots on this team. You expect under Harbaugh and under all of this new talent that he's brought in here, you expect a guy like Quentin Johnston to maybe take that next step, step up and take over the role of one of these receivers. That's why they drafted him in the first round. That's why he's a guy that was supposed to be such this explosive, dynamic playmaker. You hope for guys like that to take the next step. So when I look at and think about what Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz are going to do to this team, I think there's going to be a lot of tough decisions made. Some guys that you've seen around the Chargers for a while will not be there anymore. But I also see a lot of people get inspired and stepping up. So you're going to see a lot of names pop up off of this roster, whether it was gotten through the draft or free agency or pre-existing guys on this roster. A lot of people are going to start stepping up and see elevated play because I think he's coming in here with a fury, but also he's going to be very inspirational and kind of saying, hey, now's our time to show. This is your time to shine. We got to make all these tough moves because of the situation we're in, but this opens up the opportunity for you guys to come in and really step up. And that's the kind of moves and kind of attitude I see Jim Harbaugh coming in.